Imagine this, two retirees with the same earnings history and the same nest egg. One claims Social Security early, the other waits. 10 years later, their lives don't just look different on paper, they feel different day to day. One couple travels freely through their go-go years without watching every dollar. The other tightens the belt during the exact decade they hope to enjoy most. How does the same career produce such different retirements? And more importantly, how do you make sure you end up on the right side of that split? Keep watching. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the single Social Security decision that can quietly reduce your spouse's income for the rest of their life. The little-known earnings rule that can claw back your benefits if you keep working. And a practical framework to decide whether you should take benefits early or delay without playing guessing games. I'm Kurt Soupy, CPA and retirement planner for 25 years now, and co-founder of Creative Financial Group in 2004. I help people 50 plus with meaningful savings make confident retirement timing decisions by integrating tax planning, income sequencing, and risk control, not just chasing the biggest check. So let's dig in. You've probably heard, wait until 70, you'll get the biggest check. Technically that's true, but bigger isn't always better, and earlier isn't always smarter. Social Security isn't just a monthly deposit, it's insurance against living a long time, inflation protection, survivor income for your spouse, and psychological permission for you to retire. So yes, the math matters, but your health, work stress, portfolio draw rate, marital age gap, and what do you want to do in your 60s matter just as much. In a few minutes, I'll show you 4 questions that predict whether early, on time, or delayed claiming fits you. No spreadsheet required. Claiming early locks in a smaller base for life. Delaying raises your guaranteed inflation-adjusted income for life. Now that's obvious. What's not obvious is the ripple effect. It's portfolio pressure. A smaller Social Security check means more withdrawals from investments, especially dangerous in bad market years. Inflation resilience. A higher base check that grows without cost of living gives you more breathing room later, when healthcare and essentials eat a bigger share. The survivor impact. If you're the higher earner and you claim early, you're not just cutting your check, you're cutting the survivor benefits that your spouse may rely on. Now in a moment, I'll show you when that survivor dynamic outweighs everything else and when it doesn't. Let's be honest about why so many people file early. It often starts with, what if the system runs out? The worry is understandable, but making a permanent decision on a hypothetical can backfire. A better path is to build a plan B for potential changes while still aiming for that claiming age that fits your health and your household. Then there's the quiet voice. What if I don't live long enough? None of us know exactly our runway. The way through is to align timing with your health and family longevity and protect the most expensive scenario, living a long time. Another belief is, I can invest the benefits and beat waiting. Maybe. But you'd be trading a guaranteed inflation-adjusted lifetime benefit for market risk and sequence risk in your 60s. The bar is higher than it looks. And sometimes it isn't fear at all, it's the desire for certainty. Turning on a check can be the permission slip to retire, lower stress, and actually enjoy your 60s. In a minute, I'll show you when that move makes sense and when it quietly backfires. Spending doesn't stay flat for 30 years. Most people spend more in their 60s, their go-go years, and then they taper in their 70s, their slow-go years. And then they focus on their essentials in their 80s, what I call the no-go years. This matters because time and energy are worth more in your 60s. A strategy that starves your early retirement to max a check in your 80s might look great on a spreadsheet, but feel terrible in real life. Now we'll balance this with an example of why delaying still wins for many couples, especially where survivor income is critical. Even when the spreadsheet points to delaying, real life can tilt that decision. For some people, that monthly check is a permission slip to stop. If turning it on gets you out of a high-stress job a few years earlier, the health and quality of life payoff can outweigh the pure math. For others, the benefit is portfolio relief. Switching on Social Security lowers how much you need to pull from investments each month. That reduced reliance helps you ride out rough markets without panic selling. And then there's the use your best years angle. If your top priority is living your 60s, big trips, grandkid time, or physically demanding hobbies, using benefits earlier to fund those years can be a quality of life upgrade you won't regret. Now here's an important nuance. None of these argue to always claim early. They argue to align the timing with your actual life, not the largest possible number at age 70. There are situations where waiting has outsized benefits. You're the higher earner in a couple. Delaying increases the survivor benefit your spouse may receive for the rest of their life. If there's a meaningful age gap or your spouse's earnings record is significantly lower, this can be decisive. You're healthy with long family longevity. When you reasonably expect a long retirement, a higher guaranteed income base helps you withstand inflation and reduce portfolio withdrawals in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. You can bridge the gap without stress if you have cash, a brokerage account, or modest part-time income to cover the years before claiming. Delaying can raise lifetime income without cranking up your anxiety. I'm going to give you a simple 4-question filter next that points most people toward early, full retirement age, or delay, with a lot less second guessing. If you claim before full retirement age and continue working, there's an annual earnings limit. Earn above it and Social Security withholds part of your benefit for that year. 2 key takeaways. If you plan to work and claim early, run the numbers first so you're not disappointed by the withholdings. This isn't a gotcha forever, but it can make early claiming feel worse if you expect to bank those checks while still earning. We'll fold this into the decision filter because it matters a lot for people who want to keep a foot in the work world. Here's a simple way to decide, no spreadsheet needed. Start with your health and family longevity. If your health is fragile or there's a pattern of shorter lifespans, lean earlier. If your health is average to good and your family tends to live longer, leaning later often pays off. Now look at the income mix in your household. If you're the higher earner and your spouse may outlive you, delaying can be powerful because it boosts the survivor benefit. If your earnings are similar or you're single, you have more flexibility, so the next 2 factors carry more weight. Consider work and stress. If staying at work just to delay is adding real stress or hurting your health or relationships, early or a partial downshift may be the better life choice. If working a bit longer doesn't cost you much in quality of life, delaying is easier to live with. Finally, check your bridge capacity. Can you cover a few years with cash, a brokerage account, or part-time income without draining your portfolio or losing sleep? If yes, delaying becomes more attractive. If not, earlier can be the wiser, calmer decision. Here's a rule of thumb. If 2 or more of these point to delaying, waiting often serves you well. If 2 or more point to claiming early, sooner can be the right call, especially if turning on the check clearly improves your life now. Let's do a case study when earlier makes life better and still works financially. Take Susan. She had more than enough saved, the house was paid off, the rental income was steady, yet she couldn't pull the trigger on retirement. Our projections said she'd maximize lifetime benefits by waiting until age 70. But we chose to start her Social Security earlier. That monthly check became the permission slip she needed to step away. From there, everything eased up. Smaller withdrawals from her portfolio, noticeably lower stress, and she finally booked that trip she'd been postponing. Could she have a bigger check later? Sure. Would she trade 2 extra healthy years for it? Not a chance. Case number 2, when delaying protects the household for decades. Now flip it. Mark and Lisa were a healthy couple in their mid-60s with a meaningful age gap, and Mark was the higher earner. We delayed his benefit to lift the future survivor check, and we turned hers on earlier to keep their lifestyle flexible. That combination gave them a guaranteed income later, less pressure on their portfolios in their 70s, 80s, and a survivor plan that didn't depend on market returns. For them, delaying wasn't about chasing a trophy-sized payment. It was smart household risk management. Now, a quick but important point on taxes. Social Security timing and taxes are joined at the hip. If you turn on benefits earlier, you may not need to pull as much from your IRAs, especially in a down market. So you're not forced to sell low and your tax bill stays steadier. If you delay, you can intentionally create a few lower income years in your 60s. Those years are perfect for measured Roth conversions that shrink future required minimum distributions and the taxes that come with them. And regardless of when you claim, the sequence you draw from matters. As a rule of thumb, start with taxable money, then move to tax deferred, and save the Roth for last. Adjusting brackets, markets, and healthcare costs change. Get that order right, and the same nest egg can produce a lot more after-tax income over your lifetime. You don't need to memorize the tax code. You do need a coordinated income plan that marries claiming age, withdrawal order, and healthcare costs. Okay, so what should you do? Use the 4-question filter to find your default direction, then pressure test it with these 3 practical checkpoints. Spousal protection. This is a check for couples. If you're the higher earner, does your plan adequately protect the survivor? If not, reconsider delaying yours. Next, the portfolio stress test. If markets are ugly in your first 2 years of retirement, can your plan maintain withdrawals without panic? If claiming earlier lowers your portfolio blood pressure, weigh that. Life satisfaction check. Does the timing unlock the life you want in your 60s? Things like travel, family time, meaningful work. Or does it delay it uncomfortably? The right math that produces the wrong life isn't right for you. A balanced way to split the difference. You don't have to go all or nothing. Some couples turn on the lower earner's benefit first for flexibility, while the higher earner delays for survivor protection. Some individuals take partial downshift work to bridge to their ideal claiming age without gutting savings. Some use a cash brokerage bridge for a year or two, not to white knuckle it, but to buy that timing that best fits their health and their household. This is personal finance. Usually the levers you actually have. The one decision I want you to avoid: don't lock in a lower benefit only because you're scared of the headlines, and don't delay only to win a spreadsheet contest. Choose a claiming age that protects your household if you live a long time, keeps your investment withdrawal sane, and lets you actually live the years you can't get back. If you do that, you'll be proud of your choice, whether it says 62, full retirement age, or 70. So let's review. Earlier can be right when it lowers stress, reduces portfolio reliance, and funds the years you value most. Delaying can be right when you're healthy, you're the higher earner in a couple, or you can bridge comfortably, especially for survivor protection. Taxes, healthcare, and withdrawal order must be coordinated with your claiming age. The best plan isn't the biggest check. It's the plan that gives you confidence and freedom now and later. If you're 50 plus with meaningful savings and you want clarity on when to claim and how to structure income around it, I can help. Use the link in the description to book a call with my team. We'll build your Social Security timing plan, your withdrawal strategy, and your tax game plan so you can stop guessing and start living your retirement on purpose. Thanks for watching.